Now, leading our bulletin this hour, fugitive Thabo Bester is still on the run. The rapist and murderer faked his own death to escape from the Mangaung Correctional Centre last year. It was being run by British private security company G4S when the incident occurred. Correctional Services has since taken over operations at the prison. eNCA senior reporter Slindelo Masikane has been following the story and joins us now live with the very latest. Good morning, Slindelo.
Good morning.
It's been an interesting couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Insofar as Thabo Bester is concerned, what is the latest? What do we know? We know that police were at the house raiding it. We don't know what is there. What's the latest?
So, of course, if I take you back 3 weeks ago, Ground Up releases an expose in terms of this elaborate, calculated plan by Thabo Bester to escape from the Mangaung Correctional Centre. And this involved him, of course, faking his death and subsequently living a lavish lifestyle from what we know for about 10 months now, just down the road here in Hyde Park with what we understand to be his girlfriend, Dr. Nandipha Makudumana, who we know, of course, is quite popular in terms of her business of aesthetics. So, of course, since then, as journalists, we've been trying to, just uncover more, speak to anyone who may have an understanding or knows how, this all was planned out and who could be involved. Since then, we've seen Correctional Services, like you said, take over Mangaung Correctional Centre. In fact, the acting commissioner saying that the operations, the security protocol have literally been paralyzed in that prison, and they've invoked Section 112 in order to try and restore order. And of course, G4S has been communicating via statements, but not really saying much. All we know in terms of what Correctional Services is telling us is that G4S seems to be maintaining their position that Bester died in that fire, despite evidence, of course, that shows the contrary. We know that a manhunt has been launched, and we are still asking questions around who actually died or who was the body planted in cell 35 in Mangaung.
A very pertinent question.
Police being very mum in terms of how far they are investigations. They don't want to give us, quote, blow-by-blow accounts in terms of where they are with their investigations. And we've seen the Committee of Correctional Services and Justice convening yesterday to get an understanding as to what's happened. G4S was apparently invited. They claim they never got the invite. Of course, MPs were quite furious with them, saying that they need to be the ones first to account before the committee, before they can call the police as well as the Department of Correctional Services and Justice. So at this point, what I've been trying to do is speak to those close to these two. About a week ago, we spoke to Nandipha's father, who told us that his daughter is in hiding, that he was worried about her. My sources on the ground are telling me that perhaps Thabo Bester has at this point fled the country, and just yesterday we saw then the police making their way back to the hideout, the home here in Hyde Park, to do what we understand, I think, more evidence. And we understand that they have received new information that has led them back to the home in order to try perhaps and track down Bester as well as Dr. Nandipha. We've then also now spoken to Thabo Bester's mother, because I think for the most part we don't really know who Thabo Bester is. In fact, we weren't even sure if Thabo Bester was his name. And she's just giving us more insight in terms of how he grew up, how he was raised, how he ended up where he was. And I can tell you right now, just going to her home and speaking to her, she was terrified. She says that she is receiving death threats. She says that all she really wanted to do after finding out that her son had passed away was to bury him. And we know now that it's actually her DNA that proved that that body in that cell was not Bester. So let's just take a listen to her speaking to me around her relationship, or non-relationship, should I say, with Dr. Nandipha, and why she stopped her from cremating that body.
Indaba kaNandipha yokuthi uNandipha ushade noThabo angiyazi. uNandipha bengiqala ukumbona. uNandipha uvela uThabo makasakashonile. Kuthiwa uNandipha umfazi kaThabo futhi unabantwana abayijuna. Mina ngithi why all the time bengingavelanga, angikhulumi kabi. And then bese uThabo ke uNandipha bese ngithi kuyena angifonele ngithi phoyisa lemtrace lemfoni angifonele athi kimi mama ngizoza lapha ngizokutshela le ndaba qala uze kayi1 wafika wangitshela ukuthi bona noThabo bashada abaqeda ukushada baba nabantwana bayi2 yena nalabantwana laba bala ekhaya iyabiphelele lapho.
And then you found out that she wants to cremate the body, but you were against that.
No, angeke ngivume ngumama nawe ngeke uvume ukuthi umntana kafihle umuntu ongamazi mara uyazi ukuthi umntana anyway yaphila. Uyabona into iqale lapho ukuthi ungavuma kanjani ukuthi umntana noma bathi udopuwe noma kunyawo uphelele estradini igot makafile uzomdopa lapha umise moshari yakho umfihle. That is problem. And then na kuri hakina anything to do with this. Untata wa ka fela ni ki petela setupu sa ngwana ka jwale nna ke tlamele ke blowe ka baka la setupu sa ngwana ka.
Slindelo, what a fascinating interview.
Yeah. So in essence there she's telling us that when she met Nandipha, it was through the police after they had contacted her to get blood samples to compare her DNA with the body, and she's saying that she then was told that there was somebody who had claimed the body and that the body was in Orlando, in Soweto, and so she said to the cop, find me this person. Who is this person who's claiming my son's body? They of course gave her Nandipha's number. They met up. She says Nandipha said that, look ma, in fact me and your son have been married, we have 2 kids, and I was going to inform you that I want to cremate the body. And she's saying that there's absolutely no way I could allow a stranger to cremate my son's body or bury my son when I'm still alive. She says despite everything her son has done, even if he's the worst person on earth, as a parent who's still alive, she wanted to still be able to bury her son, and she says she was just not going to allow that, which is why she had stopped it. But in essence, she then actually contributed to the fact that we now know that Bester never died in that fire.
And what does she say now, realizing that her son apparently is still alive? What is her view of all of
she
this?
was absolutely shocked. She said she couldn't believe it. She said, it's just mind-boggling what her son has done, in terms of the heinous crimes that he's committed. But she was actually hopeful that once he would leave prison, he would come back rehabilitated. But as we can see, we're actually on a manhunt, trying to find him and rearrest him at this point.
Slindelo, thank you very much for the exceptional work you continue to do insofar as this case is concerned. That's our senior reporter, Slindelo Masikane. A reminder that you can catch the full interview this Saturday, 5 p.m. Certainly going to be just mind-blowing.